Hello, friends. Let's try this again. Coming in and breathing with our Facebook Live. Turns out that the other that I had going, the sound quit in the middle. So I'm just going to share again for you. Let me make sure that I can see what's going on over actually in the Facebook group. So in the meantime, just come on in, breathe. Use this time as always to pause and connect with our body, coming out of our heads, even if just for a few moments, and even if you're on the computer. This is about life balance. This is about balancing our energy more so than our time. So come on in, breathe, and let's connect. You know that I love using this time when we connect to also allow it to be a way of pausing and breathing. Hi, Renee. Welcome. So come on in and breathe. Let's just open up by opening space, because what we're going to talk about is energy. And this is a great way to connect. Nurturing body, mind, spirit, and emotions. So let's start by just taking a breath. Being with the music. Good afternoon, Renee. Welcome. Start by just coming in and breathing. Using this time to pause. Let go of whatever else was happening in your day. And make the space for now. All right. I'm going to light a candle as you listen to the music. In the spirit of Namaste, I've made this part of my ritual shares. In the spirit of Namaste, from the light in me to the light in you, you are light, and I'm always delighted when we can share together. Being here, breathing together, connecting, creating the energy between us and sending it back out in the world. This is part of how we balance and nurture. So welcome. So I don't want to make this long. Come on in. If you can say hi, great. If you enjoy it, you can share out now or later. I want to talk about life balance. If you've been following in the group, you know that I actually love to hold space when you get to join me live, and hold space if you are joining us later by replay, holding space for you. And I honor you taking the time to listen and participate. So, hi, Cuz. Hi, Jackie. So I want to talk a bit about life balance. I'm going to try to keep this under like 15 to 20 minutes because I honor your time. But what I've been doing is what I decided for 2018 was to have a theme, an intention for each month. And I wanted to start it out with life balance. If you've already received your copy, and I'm going to put a link in the comments, if you've already gotten a copy of your Life Balance Bagua, great. Don't worry about having it right now. Okay. You can get a copy afterwards, but I will be referring to it. But while I remember, I'll put it in the comments. It's one of the tools I've shared, because this is one of the ways we can play with our energy and our intentions. But today I want to just go a little deeper. And one of the reasons I've chosen a theme for each month is so we can do just that. Rather than just throwing a theme out at you each week or every other day, I want to stay with these so you can really be get it, understand it, and make it part of your practice, as I say, journey to center, coming out of imbalance and into balance, coming out of disconnect and into connect. That is our journey to center, that place of power and empowerment and energy. So today I want to talk about how life balance me, and raise your hand if you agree. I grew up always thinking of life balance like a scale. You had two things you were usually working with, and often you talk about life and work. And then they had to be in balance. So first of all, you looked at it kind of narrowly, two-dimensionally, life and work, which is taking in a lot. How can I even think about balancing it when it encompasses so much, even in just thought? The other is it's also about time and activities or work. How can I balance what I'm contributing and giving at home with what I'm contributing and giving at work? And we thought about the doing, which of course the doing is the more yang masculine. And that's not a negative, but that's the way that was the metric. That's the way we were measuring it. So when we look at it in terms of energy, and welcome if you're here, say hi in the comments so I know you're here, and if you have any questions. And so if you're here, I'm curious, and you can just do a thumbs up or something in comments. Did life balance look like a scale to you? And was it always about what I was doing and how much time I was putting in? If I wasn't putting in equal time in each area, I called it out of balance. Well, that reality that's not a reality, right? We can't, exactly. It's not about the balancing the time and balancing the doing, that more masculine way of looking at things, the more traditional, old school way of looking at things. It's about balancing your intentions and your energy. And I love it, and I'm going to refer to an article. And I found this one quite some time ago, but I love it when we're talking about this topic. Not that the Harvard Business Review is the be-all to end-all, but I love when I go to these, what are well-known, more left-brain corporate resources to help us better understand what we're talking about. So if you're one who maybe you feel you're not too woo and you need a little more evidence, this article is for you. And the title of it is Managing Your Energy, Not Your Time. And I actually found this quite some time ago when I was learning more that it really was about, and I wasn't even discussing, I was actually looking up time management at the time. That's what I was studying. I love to study project management, time management, mindful creativity, these topics that I research. And I found this one quite some time ago, but of course it's still relevant. And in this article, it's reminded that we manage our energy, not our time. And there are both some practical reasons that we would do this, and some, practical reasons we do it and practical reasons why it works is probably the best way to describe it. So in the article, they speak about longer hours inevitably take a toll on us, right? Physically, mentally, and emotionally, which leads to you're not as engaged. You're disconnected. This is my understanding of it. You're not as engaged. You're disconnected. In the article, they speak of declining levels of engagement, increasing levels of distraction, and possible medical challenges that you'll run into. It usually relates to stress, procrastination, so many of these other challenges that come up when you're feeling overwhelmed, when you're feeling out of balance. And you're looking at only managing your time. You're always feeling like there's not enough of it. And I love the way in the article they remind us, you have no control of how much time there is. But your energy is something you have more control over. So when they look at it in the article, they remind us that as human beings, right? We're human beings, not human doings. We look at body, emotions, mind, and spirit. Okay, and I'm just going to put that little quote right into the comments for you. Oops. So you can really remember this. When we're talking about managing our time, and I'm really relating it to balanced life, we're looking at balancing our energy, being with our energy, nurturing our energy, and sustaining our energy. And I believe they even go to use some of the language that we use here, rituals and practices, because that's what it's about. You're out of balance. You become aware that you're out of balance. In psychology, we talk about being unconscious, incompetent to consciously incompetent. You become aware. It's like, wow, now I know. Breathe with that, because as soon as you become aware that you're out of balance, or that it's not the time that is the metric, but your energy, you've already opened a door of possibility, right? You've already opened this door to allow for change. Breathe with it. Be with it. Because you now have something to work with that is more under your control, right? Rather than, I don't ever have enough time for work and for family and all my projects. Yeah, thank you. Exactly. So now you have something that you can manage, which is your energy. And I'm also going to get more into intentions, because that clarity of intentions will help you better understand. I'm going to bring in the Bagua about how are you looking at your energy? What are some of the rituals and practices and some things you may already have in place to support you, and you're no longer measuring it by a clock? You may actually be further along than you even know that you are. So when we think about it in terms of energy, we know that we can manage it, we can nurture it, we have more abilities to sustain it, and it can be expansive. You can't expand time, but you can expand energy. I'm also going to talk a little bit about the difference between energy and running on adrenaline, when you feel more like the Energizer Bunny and you are not in balance, right? That's not what we want to do. So we want to look at simpler practices. So one of the reasons I mentioned the LifeBalance Bagua, and I'm going to bring it in and talk about it here. Let's see if I can get that on the screen. If you already have your copy, great. Don't worry, you can download it after. But it's a fun tool in which I play with the 8 areas of your life where you can look to see where you are aligned. And the way when you play with this tool, I speak about your emotions and energy. How are you aligned in each of these areas? Your authentic self, your romance and intimacy, your art, play, and creativity, service and community. And this is when you're giving to the community versus family, friends, community, when you're in community and receiving. Your business and life purpose, your spiritual alignment, your money and abundance. I think we all know when we feel out of pocket and we don't feel like ourselves, we don't feel comfortable, we are definitely not feeling balanced. And when we're in that place, know it or not, you're actually using up more energy. So with the LifeBalance Bagua, you get to play with it for yourself. And basically, you're going to just color in those areas where you may be aligned or more aligned. Then spend some time in gratitude in those areas of your life. What's really working for you before you then move into setting the intentions for each of those areas. So for example, and I've done another video about that, I am aligned in my spiritual alignment, in my authentic voice. And what I find about this and what I say for you is that you're looking at life balance and you're seeing where you're aligned already. When you find out that this place that you're already aligned, this can support you in maintaining life balance in those areas where you may not feel as aligned. One, it'll support you in dealing with, as we talked about, those 4 areas: mind, body, emotions, and spirit. Wow, okay. So it's not all falling apart. It's not all crappy. There's actually some areas where I'm really aligned. And in each area, I'm sure you have gratitude to share. And in those areas where you're more aligned, they can support you in your mental energy, your spiritual energy, for practicing to be aligned with the other areas that may be not as well aligned for you. And this is a fun tool. This isn't a test. It's about seeing where you want to focus your energy and focus your attention. And therefore, your intentions will allow you to decide rituals and practices. So I know that I already have rituals and practices and I want to keep with those versus, okay, so in this area, not as well aligned. I hadn't really thought about it. That's not really important now. But oh, wow, this area, if I'm feeling more aligned, more within myself, wow, let's see some rituals and practices that will help me feel more aligned in a particular area. Like, say, for me, for one, is my wellness, especially after going through the holidays. And as Harvard Business Review talks about body, right? Simple nutrition. What am I going to let go of? Not just, am I going to go out and exercise and run 10 miles a day? But okay, let's start by being simple. I think I'll have a little less of this and a little more of that. And for me, it may be a little less dairy and a lot more water. It can be simple. It doesn't have to be a big thing. So I hope that's resonating for you. So that's, for example, in each area you look to see. If you want to start and keep it really simple, if you read the article, you can simply open up your awareness about body, mind, emotions, and spirit. So in my body, how am I going to take care of my body a little bit better? Well, it's going to be about nutrition and maybe exercise. How am I going to be with my emotions? We talk about this in the pilgrimage. Let's start by honoring them. This isn't about trauma, but also not quashing them or feeling you don't deserve them. Spirit, so many mindfulness practices that I'm sure you probably have in place. And probably the last place that I really need to support you. And then, so it was body, mind, spirit. Oh, what was that fourth one? Let me go. So where did I put that? Emotions. Mind. I didn't say mind. Mind is mindset. As much as getting rid of fog, right? You have too much on your mind. You need to clear it. You need to breathe. You need to slow down. Or mindset energy. I got all this negative self-talk, old messages that keep draining my energy and distracting me. I need to practice letting go. And that may be just a process, but it's all about becoming aware. Mastery is about practice, not perfection. Once you open the door to awareness, as we light a candle, shed some light on it, it then will begin to cycle back for you. You become aware, you practice. Literally, then your body, your mind, your spirit, your brain gets used to this practice. You don't beat yourself up for doing it wrong. You go, oh, right. Come back into practice. Stay with the awareness. And as that journey to center, as we know that we become aware, and as we have these rituals and practices, they're either going to keep us in awareness, which is great. And the more we practice, will move us toward our center, our balance and connected center. And that's how then you sustain it. So life balance, just like managing time, is more about your energy and more about, oh, I'm so glad this resonates for you. This is more about looking at the areas in your life, seeing what's working for you, using the tools of gratitude and clarity of intention to know what's already working, and where you may want to have more intentional doing. So before you get going and do, you want to be clear on where you're coming from. And so in the Bhagavad, not only is it fun to color in with pens and pencils, I really play with the Bagua and the feng shui colors, bringing all of the energies, the spiritual energies, the artistic energies, and playing with that. And just making it simpler so that one doesn't say life-work balance. And this big topic, I know as I was growing up, what did that even mean? This will help you define that for yourself. You may work with exactly what we have here in the Bhagavad, or you may want to cross out or redefine some areas. It does help you understand what we're talking about in each of those areas when you play. It's like a 10 or 13 page document for members, and the free one, if you're not a member of the village, there's still a shorter version, maybe 5 to 7 pages, just to help you play with it. Because when we think of how do I get balanced in life, what does that mean? It's this big, huge. What does it mean? This will help you begin to define what that means for you. I'm not about giving you answers. This is about introducing you to the conversations and intentions that you want to have with yourself and the tools that you may use to have this conversation with yourself. And if it can be fun and colorful, even better. So life balance is about feeling balanced and aligned with who you are, not feeling uncomfortable in your own skin, uncomfortable in your mind, uncomfortable in your spirit. When you're aligned in these areas, that's what life balance means for us as a yinpreneur. It's not a scale. It's not a test. It's not, did I spend equal hours? And you look at your family. You can spend more quality time with the people in your home, your life, your family. And more quality time is better than more hours when you're disconnected, when you're not feeling yourself. You are better to show up in your authentic self for more concentrated times than you are to try to be there all the time, barely present, maybe literally barely present, because nowadays people can be on their phones and on their computers and their minds are elsewhere. More concentrated time when you are feeling aligned, you are feeling yourself, you're excited to share this with others at home or at work because you're grounded. You're not worried about, have I spent enough hours? They will receive because you have more to give. You are clear about who you are. Gifts come in small packages. We know that some great gifts come in small packages. So I hope this has been helpful for you to understand a way to get your head around life balance. It's about the being, the yin. Life balance comes from the inside out. Oh, I'm so glad. Life balance comes from the inside out. It is not on a clock. It can't be measured by others. And when you are coming from that place of feeling in balance and aligned with who you are, everything else becomes easier. Really, the time issue actually goes away too, because when you're clear, when you're balanced, you have more energy. It's less likely that you're distracted, you're procrastinating. I know me, when I'm out of it or too tired and I haven't rested, my brain is foggy, I can't get anything done. Or if I do, it's not very high quality work. So even when you look at the article, it's simple things like, am I going to bed a little bit earlier? Am I being peaceful before I go to bed? I already mentioned the nutrition. The mindset, not letting the gremlins getting to you. Maybe you just, if you have a lot on your head, just write it down. Get it out. Get it out of your head. Okay? And spirit, mindfulness practices, meditation, prayer, gratitude. All of this is organically blended into the Life Balance Bagua practice. Oh, I'm glad, so glad, Renee, that you appreciate it. But they can be simple, and that's the most important thing I want you to remember. If you don't read the article and you don't play with the Bagua, mantra always, slow down to speed up your success. Let go of the adrenaline way of life, running from one activity to the next with no breath or intentional transition. You're doing something, breathe, stop, finish it. Like that closure. Take a breath. I'm now going to, and it could be something if you're at work, I'm now going to check my email. I'm now going to write this. I'm now going to make this call. Rather than, okay, done, and we're on autopilot. You'll feel the difference in the energy, the transitions. Let go of the adrenaline. Bring in the intention. This is not about going and breathing and sitting in meditation for 20 minutes. We're talking seconds. Stop, breathe, take in your surroundings, and move on to the next activity. Whatever it is, bring your intention to it at work, at home. I was already mentioning with your family. It will make a huge difference so you don't feel like that Energizer bunny. You feel whole. You feel aligned. You feel balanced. So thank you for being here. If you were able to enjoy with us live, thank you. I really appreciate your time. And if you enjoy by replay, I'd love to share in the comments any questions you may have. And if there's anything standing in your way, I hope this helps you understand a better way to relate to, thank you, life balance and some simple practices. And if you have some simple practices, always share them, right? Community, collective voice is so powerful. So thank you for being you. Thank you for being here. Continue to breathe your way through your day and life aligned with your highest power, your inner wisdom, your yinpreneur, that goddess within. Thank you. Enjoy your evening.